Yo, still bills. What's the deal, man? It's Thursday. It's fight day. I'm ready to begin the festivities, man. But we got to get through this day at work. But peep game, we got to get into some shit, man. So we gonna keep it Shakur Stevenson for the time being, because he said some shit that I felt was real. It was pivotal, and I hope it sets a precedence to all content creators, or not even content creators. Well, yeah, content creators who get who get credentials for these fights, and they get ingratiated into these spaces and training camps, and eventually that transcends into being part of the media who's getting flown out to who's getting credentialed and flown out to fights and getting press passes and all that shit. For him to call y'all trifling as fuck is an understatement. It's a serious understatement, man. A lot of and one thing that I've noticed, Shakur Stevenson has been getting a lot of criticism due to his attachment, his attachment to Bud. He's getting inadvertent Bud hate, and motherfuckers don't even realize it. Motherfuckers don't even realize it, man. You did. I think a lot of people feel some type of way that he's really embracing his Puerto Rican heritage. They really feel some type of way about that. I don't see anything wrong with it, even though when you look at him, you don't see no Puerto Rican. You see a nigga. You see a straight up and down nigga, and that but there's niggas in Puerto Rico as well. You feel me? But I think a lot of people are, feeling slighted by that, and it just so happens that their darling Spence lost to his mentor. So ever since that, it's really just been, he's been getting, just slandered, bro. I mean, there's people who are really beating the drum that he ducked Devin Haney. Devin Haney was gonna pay him $8 million and this and that and the third, as if Devin Haney has. I don't even think Devin Haney has had that high of a payday for him to be able to dish that out to a fighter, bro. Like, what are we talking about? But they'll disregard all of that shit, and you dig, they'll run with that narrative because it's soothing to them. And it's like, yo, as a journalist, even a content creator, man, you, like I said before, it's hard to ignore your bias and your fandom towards another, towards a fighter that you're, favorable of. It's hard to do that. I get it. I understand it. It's very hard to do that. But you still have a responsibility at the end of the day to be as non-obtuse as you can possibly be. You can let the fan in you seep out slightly, but try to find those areas in the middle where all right, cool, well, let me be a little bit more judicious and diplomatic with how I give a breakdown or my thoughts and personal analysis on this situation right here. Y'all don't do that. Y'all just jump out the window and ask some of the sloppiest questions. Y'all will intentionally skirt past hard questions that could put. And I'm not a big fan of asking hard questions. I'm not a big fan of that shit. Depending on how hard of a question it is. You dig? Some fans, some journalists get to a point, where they feel like, yo, I gotta ask you about what's going on in your personal life, and what's your connection to this and that and the third, and yada yada yada. It gets to a point where it's past boxing, because I think most boxers could keep it on a just keep it relegated to the sport. Even if they get irritated with the press, they can understand, yo, this is a part of my job. This comes with the territory. All right, yeah, whatever the fuck ever, man. But you get to asking people about charges outside of the ring and all type of other wild shit that don't really got too much to do with the sport of boxing outside of them being in that situation as a professional boxer. That's where it gets OD. That's where I'm like, nah, bro, you overstepping your boundaries. You ain't that man's, his his PR personnel. You dig? You ain't none of that. Some information we just don't need to. We just don't need to have. We don't need to have information. Some situations we don't need to have information to. It's not our business. When you start interjecting in people's personal life and asking those type of hard questions, that's where I draw the line at. But if it's just a regular nigga, if you just asking a motherfucker, just like hard questions as far as boxing questions are concerned, how come you aren't fighting this fight, and you're contradicting the narratives that he's trying to push out there about why he's not fighting a certain fighter or how he strategically got out of fighting a certain type of fighter, them is the type of questions I don't mind, being asked. And they don't do that a lot of times with these fighters. They don't do that a lot of times. And that's where it becomes trifling. You'll intentionally run with the first narrative you hear on social media, and you won't even try to give resistance or put any thought to it to fully unpack it and get to the truth at the beneath far beneath the surface. Niggas don't try to do that shit, and that's when it becomes trifling. Y'all fake as fuck, as he said, because like I always revert back to what Ellie Setback did. I will always do that shit. Years of slandering the Manny Pacquiao just for you to run up on him in China and try to get an exclusive with him. I will never forget that ever. That is the type of little sucker shit that I'm talking about. That's the cornball bullshit that I'm talking about. It's not cool, man. Y'all have a job to be as what's the word I'm looking for? Non-biased as possible, objective as possible. And a lot of y'all fail miserably in that because y'all want to be, y'all you don't want to ruffle feathers. And what you not ruffling feathers, you in a position where they'll invite you back to the camp and do interviews with you, exclusives, and it's a lot, it's just really just corny dumb nigga shit, bro. It's really corny dumb nigga shit. You dig? So I'm just saying, man, at what point do y'all start saying, all right, bro, this shit ain't the move? This shit ain't the move. It's not. So I'm glad he called y'all out. I'm glad he said what it is that he said, and I feel like with him saying that, all of y'all need to take credence, take heed to that and be like, oh, yo, you know what? All right, maybe it's time for us to move a little bit differently in the media. Because if he's seeing it, everybody else is seeing it, man. Bud has been saying it for years, man. I don't talk to a lot of you media niggas, man. I don't. I don't fuck with a lot of y'all. It makes sense. It makes sense. Once you gain followers on this platform, you have a civic duty to guide them properly. The information that they're getting from you, it needs to be as non-obtuse as possible. It needs to be extremely objective as possible, unless it's just blatant. Nah, bro, you on bullshit right now. And a lot of times it don't be that. The message in the glass bottle was so much more, vibrant than what it is that you're giving off. And y'all don't care to, y'all don't care to acknowledge that because it ruffles feathers, man. So shout out to Shakur Stevenson for saying that shit. And shout out to him for having that type of hostility towards y'all as well, where he ain't biting my tongue, nigga. Who the fuck is this? You a Devin fan, bro. Like, man, I don't give a fuck about this and that and the third, man. Y'all fake as fuck. Y'all trifling. Y'all yada, yada, yada. Man, I'm fucking with all that shit, bro. I'm fucking with all that. All of it, man. Because y'all are deserving of it. Y'all are deserving of it. Y'all are deserving to be banged on in the manner that y'all banged on. You dig? If I got to a point where just off this little platform that a very few of y'all follow me on, if I ever got to a point where this channel got, fell on the ears of a content creator who has a far bigger platform that I have, and he invites me on there, or she invites me on there, and that's able to parlay into me actually getting credentialed and press passes at these big fights, I have to. You have to start you have to get fighters out of their comfort zone. You have to start holding them accountable for their actions. Nah, man, I don't think that's necessarily the best move for you, OG. Being respectful though. Being respectful. I ain't saying you got to be Larry Merch with it and just show a little level of aggravation, because they're still temperamental people at the end of the day. They operate on emotion just like everybody else, and if you piss them off too bad, it is nothing you can do to stop them from imposing their will on you. So you go into a situation with that on your mind, man. You could give criticism and still be respectful. You don't got it, man. Nah, man, you on some sucker shit right now. I'm not gonna get on here and call no fighter no bitch. One time I did that was with Tyson Fury for saying nigga. I don't do that shit, Brody. I don't do that shit in my regular life. It is, but the point is, be responsible when you put out content. Be responsible. Shit, Bubba Dub is about to be on Undisputed. Skip Bayless is desperate as all hell, but he's about to be on Undisputed now. So it's getting to a point now where you don't need to go to school for communication and journalism and all that to get opportunity to be on TV or anything. You never know what the fuck can happen off of you going viral on YouTube or social or Instagram or just anything, Facebook, anything. Your tweet going viral. That one tweet went viral, and now everybody starts following you on Twitter, and they're looking to see what it is that they're looking for you to voice your opinion on a certain situation. You never know when that type of situation will present itself. So you can be as biased as you want to be, but when you get at that level, I think you have a duty to the people to be objective. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Shakur Stevenson for letting that shit be known. Shout out to Shakur Stevenson for holding their feet to the fire, not biting his tongue. That's that type of energy that we need from all of these fighters, man. Stop sucking dick. Y'all niggas cocksockets, man. I can't wait to get in front of a fighter and just gush all over that nigga, man. I don't even see y'all. Man, it is some beautiful female fighters out there. I don't see niggas get googly eyed over Alicia. I don't see niggas get googly eyed over Sky Nicholson, over Sanicia Estrada. These are beautiful women. I don't see it. I don't see them get like that over Amanda Serrano or Maricela Cornejo. I don't see them get like that over these women. The way that y'all get over these dudes, it would be understandable if you was like this with the ladies, man. It would be really understandable. But y'all don't be on that type time, man. I ain't seen nobody interview Raquel Miller in recent history. Girl, fine as a motherfucker. You dig what I'm saying? Y'all don't get gushy and googly eyed over them, but y'all get googly eyed over these dudes, bro. You ready to abandon all your morals and your credences that you stand on just to get in, ingratiate yourself with him so you can get an exclusive interview. That is the lamest shit in the world. You'll feed that nigga's ego by lying to him. Just no sense of objectivity, man. That is lame, bro. Like, y'all niggas really need to humble yourselves with that, man. Y'all niggas is suckers for real, for real. So I'm glad that he said that shit, Brody. I'm glad that he said that shit. Step y'all media game up, man. Step y'all media game, because you never know when someone is going to reach out to you and they're gonna want your following to be a part of this. They're gonna look for you bring a following with you to these fights. They're coming to your channel. With them coming to your channel, that is going to potentially open their eyes up to the sport in totality. So when you get to a certain level, you matter in the sport. You matter, regardless. But with someone like Ellie Seckback, he's one of the OGs in the in sports media on YouTube. So he has a sizable following. He's been building his brand for well over a decade. That shit matters. With you coming over here to the fold with us, you bring all of the. I don't know how many subs he got. You bring all those subs over here, and you're in good with just the Garcia camp and all these other camps around here. Where all right, cool, our up and coming fighters are gonna be possibly featured on your channel for interviews. That's the most drastic example I can give, but that shit matters, man. So do right, god damn it, do right by the fans and do right by the sport, do right by these fighters, man. Stop dick sucking and become objective, man. Stop the sucker shit. Like, you niggas is bitches, bro. I swear to everything, you niggas is fucking hoe ass niggas. Niggas is fucking cornballs, man. So yeah, that's how I'm feeling about it, man. Shout out to Shakur Stevenson, and I'm definitely watching your fight tonight, man. I'll get with y'all later. Y'all stay righteous, bro. Deuces.